Hello everyone, this is the Magician, and with me, duo commentating, we have Vice.
Hi.
So for this game, we're on Viaduct. I am playing Pyro with the Greaser Flare Gun Homewrecker, and your loadout is...
The gunslinger, the pistol, and frontier justice.
Okay, so obviously we're on this map, you want to be really... Mostly it's very aggressive, so that's why he's using Gunslinger, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I don't like building sentries really.
yeah, normal sentries, I feel like they were boring, basically.
Yeah. It's good to have normal sentries if you had homewrecker piles though.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just good for control points and payload maps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Especially on bad order, having normal sentries is crucial.
Yeah.
So basically what we're trying to do here is cooperate, because Pyro with Engy can be devastating for a team, since they pretty much do a cycle where the Engy is going to give health and metal to the Pyro, and the Pyro is going to keep spies away.
Also
And,
notice that I put my my teleport on the roof of the house, which
Yeah.
gives spies less to sap, I guess.
Yeah,
That's what you worry about.
yeah, that's a good point. And even though if they did sap it from the entrance, it's not that big of a deal on small maps like Viaduct. It is much more on maps like Badwater or Gravel Pits. So yeah, I have the Homewrecker, but you see that I'm pretty much never using it because you're using a Gunslinger, and that means that you have many sentries, and you pretty much don't mind having them sapped. By the way, that was a pretty clutch move.
That was a pretty good clear
Good.
shot, I'd say.
Yeah. It's also I got the spy there somehow. So
Yeah.
total skill, not luck at all. In the beginning they had a lot of soldiers in demo. I'm fine with rockets or blasting. By the way, you can see that just by spamming flames, I get this spy.
This guy's with me.
This guy's is him.
Yeah. And that's the thing pilots should always do, just randomly like spam flames everywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of pilots don't really spy check these days.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that they usually want to be or too aggressive or too defensive, but when they're defensive, they're not, they're just kind of there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm using the Homewrecker, and so as I said, I'm not using it at all, but it's actually not a bad weapon, if you can get those, if there are many spies, like, if you have a lot of spies that have a tendency to sap a lot, then having another anti-sapper guy, yeah, it can be really helpful. Now, you see later that there is a sap, the spy does sap something, and I don't have the reflex to do it because I never use the Homewrecker. Yeah. And also, the Homewrecker is, there is something that people don't even think about most of the time, is just killing enemy buildings, because it has, I don't know, like, plus 50% against buildings, or something like that. So if you can get close to, like, a sentry with an Uber, then you can be a really devastating Pyro.
Yeah, and also I want to point out that not just pulling people away from the point, which is what you should do on King of the Hill as Pyro. You want people to get any time on the point.
Yeah, exactly. Because Air Blast is amazing. Most Pyros don't even, like, when they use Phlogistonator, which is an awful weapon just for that, or the Backburner, because 100 plus 115%, that means that you have only 6 Air Blasts with full thing. So basically you're not going to use your Air Blast with a Backburner. So that's mostly why I use the Deracer, and also having the switch time is so helpful. Here I'm just spy checking around the health, because spies love health, because they have a tendency to get hit a lot by spam when they're going through.
And also that's where the what's it called? Metal is.
Yes, yeah.
Ammo.
And the spies need ammo.
Yeah.
I can test, because I'm main spy.
And that's the thing you should always do as Pyro. Just watch out for where the ammo respawn is and everything. Because you know spies are gonna go there.
Yeah. Actually, on any map, knowing where health and ammo is really just so helpful. For example, on that's actually something that spy can use if they know where health and ammo is, then and the other team knows where they are. Then you can fake like you're going there and then loop around. So you don't get your health and ammo back, but you at least they think that you're going there, so it's a good getaway. Again, most of the time what I'm doing here is just air blasting stuff away as much as possible.
But air blast to give away from that point.
Yeah, because I said in the beginning, having since we have engineers here, we don't. I have pretty much an infinite supply of ammo, which means I don't need to be scared of air blasting.
And if you notice here, I put my sentry around the corner. Which,
Oh, yeah.
The enemy won't really see, which is a really good location because it takes a lot of the damage and holds back the pushes. So that means more time on the point basically.
Yeah, most of the time a mini sentry is not gonna do the killing. It's just gonna weaken the enemy a lot.
Yeah, so it's good to put them where in flank locations where the enemies don't really notice them. Like if you notice the soldier, he didn't even turn around. He didn't notice it at all.
Yeah. Because eventually they're just gonna get so much spammed that they're not gonna notice the mini sentry. And also they're occupied at looking just away. So that's just so much that much damage you don't have to deal yourself. Although you can see another really obvious spy. And you can see me extinguishing him because extinguisher does like 200 damage, I believe. So when you with the den ring you have 90% off, so it deals it still deals some damage. So yeah. Here I think we're pushing up a bit too much and I get greedy. And I try to go for an extinguisher kill, and he just has 10 health, which made me feel so bad.
Teleporter. We need a teleporter.
And
Someone needs a teleporter.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Wait.
get to that.
Yeah. Actually teleporters, I think I mentioned this, but they're not that useful in Viaduct, since this is such a small map that you can get to the control point really fast.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
So again, all these spies were extremely obvious, so I didn't have to do much work of well, they were really obvious. I didn't have to check my teammates most of the time, because that's something you get with Team vs 2, is that after playing a lot, you just know who's a spy and who isn't. And even when you're basically developing a paranoia for spies.
And right here, there's I think there's 2 heavies on the point. Well, there was before,
Yeah.
in which you died. It would have probably been more useful if you spent your time spy checking instead, because even if you do shoot flare shots at the enemies, it will annoy them, but you're not really useful as a pyro. You're not really dealing that much damage.
Yeah, that's true. And now you can see that I have a lot of pyros, so I don't have to work as hard. And they also had a pyro that was WM2, which I found was kind of funny, because I'm doing that a lot. I think a lot of people changed the pyro because, well, first of all, we had a lot of pyros, so they probably thought that they needed pyros, I think, maybe. No clue. And also that pyros can be really effective on small maps because they can cause chaos, and that means that the other team is less organized, which means that their pushes are more complicated.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, basically a pyro he's not really here to do the killing. He's more just causing chaos. I can see
And
this.
this
This heavy. He was using the brass beast on offense, which is never a good idea at all. And so he pretty much was a non-moving target at that point, which made it really easy for me to clear shot him. Because 90 damage is a lot of damage overall. If you have a 125 class HP, then you can kill them with 2 shots.
And plus the flare shot crits when your opponent's on fire.
Yeah,
Detrimental.
that's usually why I use it over the detonator. Although now the detonator can actually make you jump. Actually, here I'm not sure. It was a bad move. Actually, I was conserving my ammo because that had a lot of stuff to do. If I can say anything about what that medic was doing, is that he popped. Actually, no. Maybe we should have let them push a bit up before we popped, so we can have them more off guard. Because here they had all advantages. So that's it for the gameplay. Hope you enjoyed it. This was Magician and Vice.
Hi.
And yeah, see you next time. Remember, Engies and Pyros.